Have you ever stopped to think that the foundations of modern medicine, how a doctor figures out what's wrong, the treatments they give, might actually go back thousands of years?
It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? We always picture medicine as this constant forward march.
Exactly. But today, we're going to dig into just how much of what we do now was, well, pioneered ages ago.
Yeah, this deep dive is all about tracing those sometimes really surprising connections between ancient practices and our modern healthcare. We've got some great sources lined up.
We do ancient texts, modern reviews, the whole lot.
And our goal really is to show you how much isn't actually new.
Right. And how some ancient wisdom is still incredibly relevant. You might find yourself looking at your next doctor's visit a bit differently after this.
Okay, so where do we start? Maybe Mesopotamia?
Let's. Their medical texts go way back, second millennium BCE.
Right, and they had these two kinds of medical specialists, the exorcist
Yeah,
and the physician.
the exorcist role. Well, that's mostly faded, hasn't it?
Mostly, yes. But the physician role, focusing on the body, using medical knowledge, that's still absolutely central today.
And what blows my mind is that they already understood sort of disease prevention.
Prophylaxis, yeah. The idea you could stop disease before it spread.
They got that diseases could move between people?
Apparently so. To the point they'd actually evacuate whole villages if they sensed, an infectious disease.
Wow, think about that. The organization needed to do that thousands of years ago. That's basically early public health.
It really is foundational stuff. And they weren't just about prevention. They had surgical skills, too.
Like what kinds of things?
Well, records mention minor stuff, like lancing boils, setting broken limbs.
Okay.
And the theory is maybe they learned a lot of this from treating war casualties.
Makes sense. Grim, but practical experience, I guess.
Exactly. Okay, so from Mesopotamia, let's jump forward a bit to ancient Greece.
And to Hippocrates. Born around 460 BC, the father of modern medicine. That's a huge title. What did he actually do?
Well, a key thing was shifting medicine away from purely religious or magical explanations. Theocratic medicine, they call it.
Okay.
He introduced this idea of physis, that the body has its own natural ability to heal. That was pretty revolutionary. Focus on the body itself, not just, appealing to the gods.
Supporting the body's own processes.
Precisely. And then there's the ethical side,
The Hippocratic Oath. Everyone knows that, right?
pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's still used today, a moral code for doctors. But his influence, it goes way beyond just the oath.
How so?
I think it's about the words we use. Sepsis, trauma, diagnosis, symptom, therapy.
He coined those.
Many of them, yes. Or they trace back to his work. We even have things like Hippocratic finger or Hippocratic bench. His name is all over medicine.
That's incredible. And the Greeks had that saying, didn't they? Healthy mind in a healthy body.
They did. And it wasn't just a nice phrase. We see the connection today, right? Research shows fitter students often do better academically. It's that holistic view.
Which seems very modern, actually.
It does. And speaking of holistic, consider how Hippocrates approached mental illness. This is really profound.
Okay, tell me more.
He treated them like physical diseases, not demons or curses, but illnesses of the body, specifically the brain.
Like what?
He classified things like mania, melancholy, phrenitis, insanity,
Yeah.
even paranoia, panic,
Mm.
epilepsy, hysteria.
And some of those terms, we still use them, or versions of them.
Exactly. It was a radical shift. Treating the mind as part of the body, something that could get sick and potentially be treated medically. It laid the groundwork.
So less superstition, more observation.
Absolutely. Hippocratic medicine was all about evidence. What you could actually see and record.
Like taking a patient's history.
A really detailed one, yeah.
Mm.
Where you lived, age, gender, habits, diet, sleep, mood. Sound familiar?
Sounds exactly like my last checkup.
Right. And then came the physical exam.
What did they check?
Pretty comprehensive stuff.
Bro.
Paralysis, breathing, fever, looking at sputum, urine, vomit.
Okay, maybe not exactly like my last checkup on that last one.
Maybe not. But the system, history, exam, diagnosis, treatment plan, that is the basis of modern clinical medicine.
So much of a doctor's visit really does trace right back to him. Amazing.
It is. Now let's shift focus again eastward to ancient Egypt.
Ah, the land of the pharaohs and papyri.
Exactly. They left this incredible written record on papyrus scrolls. And we really started understanding them after the Rosetta Stone was deciphered, back in 1822.
Right, that unlocked the language. What were these papyri like?
Often written in hieratic script, sort of a cursive hieroglyphics. Red ink for headings, black for the main text on these sheets made for the papyrus plant.
Like ancient medical textbooks.
Pretty much. Huge sources of knowledge. You can just picture them carefully writing it all down.
So what do they cover? What do we learn from them?
A huge range. Take
Yeah.
the Kahun papyrus from way back, maybe 1825 DCE.
Okay.
It's all about gynecology, women's health, contraception, figuring out conception,
Contraception back then. What did they use?
all sorts of things. Fumigation, massage, and one rather famous one involving crocodile dung mixed with honey or sour milk.
Crocodile.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Maybe not one we've carried forward.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
But it shows their ingenuity, right? Then you have the Edwin Smith papyrus around 1600 BCE.
What's that one about?
It's basically a surgical guide, really detailed, focuses on trauma, head, neck, arm injuries. About 62 cases described.
With treatments.
Oh, yeah. Closing wounds with sutures, using honey, and there's honey again to prevent infection, raw meat to stop bleeding.
Sounds surprisingly practical.
It is, and what's really striking is its description of breast cancer. It calls it a grave disease and states, very frankly, there was no treatment for it.
That honesty is quite poignant, isn't it, from so long ago?
It really is. Then there's the Ebers Papyrus, maybe 1550 BCE. This one is huge, the longest, most complete one we have.
An encyclopedia.
Basically, yeah. Over 300 ingredients, nearly 900 prescriptions. Covers eyes, skin, gynecology, even a bit on despondency.
Like depression.
Seems very similar, yes. And fascinatingly, it has the first known reference to diabetes mellitus, described as to eliminate urine, which is too plentiful.
A very direct description.
Indeed. And just one more quick example, the Berlin Papyrus, maybe 1350 BCE.
What's special about that one?
It details this unique pregnancy test. You moisten barley and emmer wheat with the woman's urine. If it sprouts, she's pregnant. And supposedly, which grain sprouted faster could even predict the baby's gender.
Huh. Whether it worked or not, it shows they were really trying to figure things out systematically.
Exactly. That drive to observe and record is clear. And it wasn't just documentation. Their surgical skills were, frankly, amazing for the time.
We talked about the Edwin Smith papyrus, but what else?
There's evidence of amputations, even, believe it or not, brain surgery.
Brain surgery.
Trepanation, yes. Drilling holes in the skull. And we found wooden prosthetic limbs, too.
Wow. They must have had a decent grasp of anatomy.
They certainly did. Setting bones, suturing wounds, opening boils and abscesses surgically. Pretty advanced stuff.
And you mentioned similarities to modern techniques.
Yeah, like how they fixed a dislocated shoulder. It's very similar to a method still used sometimes today, the Kocher method. Same for reducing a dislocated jaw.
That's incredible. And the tools, did they have scalpels and things?
They did. Metal scalpels, dental pliers, catheters, forceps, scissors. A lot of instruments we'd recognize.
It just makes you appreciate the skill, doesn't it? Doing all that without modern anesthetic or sterilization.
Absolutely. The courage and precision required.
Yeah.
This is really quite something.
So beyond surgery, what about their medicines? The pharmacy, so to speak.
Ah, yes. The ancient Egyptian pharmacy was vast. They used plants, animals, minerals, you name it.
And the fascinating part is some of this stuff actually works, right? Like scientifically validated now?
A surprising amount, yes. For example, they used fruit from the Amimagus plant for vitiligo.
Okay.
Today, we extract a compound called 8-methoxypsorolin from it, which is used in treatments for vitiligo and psoriasis.
Wow. Direct link. Any others?
Plenty. They use something called Nebes, which we know as Ziziphus spina, for inflammation. Modern science has found compounds in it linked to inflammation pathways.
Amazing.
They use poppy for pain release, and sedation makes sense. Garlic, onion, radish were given to pyramid builders for, like, vitality. Early supplements.
It really makes you think about old folk remedies, doesn't it? Maybe grandma knew a thing or two.
Maybe she did. They also used minerals, malachite for green eye makeup, lead sulfides or antimony for black coal eyeliner, which actually had some antibacterial benefits, it turns out.
Huh. Makeup as medicine?
In a way, yeah. Natron for cleaning, Nubian ochre for various ailments, and animal products were huge too. Liver for night blindness.
Vitamin A.
Exactly. They didn't know why, but they knew it worked. They used everything from cow fat to crocodile bile.
But you mentioned honey earlier.
Yeah.
Seems like that was a big one.
Honey was the superstar ingredient. It shows up in over 500 prescriptions in the Ebers Papyrus alone.
Wow. Just as a sweetener.
Not just that. They use it for its effectiveness.
Yeah.
As an anti-cough remedy for diarrhea, and especially for wounds as an antimicrobial.
And we know now it really works for wounds.
We do. Modern science has actually identified like 6 different ways honey helps wound healing. Its antimicrobial action, moisture balance, anti-inflammatory effects.
Incredible ancient insight. What did they mix these remedies in?
Common things. Yeah, beer, wine, milk, water, beeswax was used too.
And did they only treat serious diseases?
Not at all. The papyri even include cosmetic recipes, like to make the skin of the face smooth, soak meal in spring water.
Huh. Skincare tips from 1500 BCE.
Right, and even household hints, like using cat fat to keep mice away.
Okay, maybe some remedies are best left in the past.
Perhaps. But it shows how broad their concept of health and well-being was.
So, wrapping this up, it's pretty clear, isn't it? Diagnosis, prognosis, that line goes back to Hippocrates.
Definitely. And so many medicinal ingredients, treatment ideas, we see those strongly in ancient Egypt.
And we should remember, this wasn't just happening in Greece and Egypt, right?
Absolutely not. It was global. We briefly mentioned Mesopotamia, but think of ancient India too. So Sruta, a physician there, was performing rhinoplasty nose jobs
Yeah.
and cataract surgery centuries BCE. Really advanced techniques were popping up all over.
It really underscores how much of our modern practice stands on these ancient shoulders.
It truly does.
So as you think about everything we've talked through today, here's a final thought. If so much of modern medicine has these deep ancient roots, what other wisdom, what other knowledge from the past might still be out there just waiting for us to rediscover and, validate with modern science? What else could push healthcare even further?